Today we're going to talk about how to choose weight loss boundaries without going crazy. And this is one of the topics I get asked a lot about. I think it's one that a lot of people have a hard time with. And so I just have a few simple steps that I want to go over. So if you're choosing weight loss boundaries, the first thing is to limit your options, because anytime we make a decision, if we have a million options, it makes it really hard to decide. So with weight loss boundaries, what we're talking about is your main weight loss boundaries, okay? So I'm going to give you 4 different options, and if you're going to choose weight loss boundaries, you pretty much choose one of these options, okay? So the first one is hunger satisfaction. That's you, like intuitive eating. You eat when you're hungry and you stop when you're satisfied. Okay, the second one is either counting calories, counting points, or counting carbs. And with this one, if you just say, I'm going to try to eat less calories, or I'm going to try and, eat less carbs, that's not a firm weight loss boundary, okay? So in order to be a weight loss boundary, it has to be firm, okay? I'm going to have so many calories a day, or I'm going to have so many carbs a day, or so many points a day. Okay, the third one is 3 meals a day. And 3 meals a day, or 3 meals a day and 1 snack. And the fourth one is a specific plan. So, oh good, you can hear me, thank you. Okay, so with a specific plan, you might go with keto, or there's bright line eating. There's all those different types of plans, right? Okay, so you've got your 4 options, okay? So choose one of those options, and in order to choose the option, I do have some questions that will help you ask that. So the first question is, what have you lost weight on before? Another question is, what would you like to do? Okay, which one seems to appeal to you the most? A third question might be, what are you unwilling to do? Okay, so if you're unwilling to count calories, you rule that out right away. Okay, so rule out whatever you're unwilling to do. And then the last one is, does God have a preference? Okay, and this is one that I sometimes feel trips people up. I think you should pray and ask God for wisdom, ask Him to help you choose boundaries. But beyond that, one of the things I keep coming across over and over again in my weight loss coaching is that some people think they have, no matter what kind of boundaries they choose, they also have to add in hungry and fullness. And I'm going to read what one of my clients said. She said, I felt I should eat according to the way I felt God designed my body. I felt He made my body to eat only when I was hungry and stop when I was full. I felt, and maybe to a degree still feel, that having to count calories, carbs, or fats was an artificial method of controlling food. Okay, so I just want to address that a little bit. And this is something, people are going to believe differently on. And so if you guys hear my opinion, think about it for yourself, check out the Bible. Other people have other opinions, and you'll have to decide what you think is right. But as far as God giving us hunger signals, I think there's a lot of different signals that God gives, okay? He gives hunger. We get the urge to, this will be, I don't know, if you have any little kids and you care about this, then maybe you might not want little kids listening. But, we have the urge to go to the bathroom. We have the urge to have sex. We have the urge to eat. Okay, those are 3 different urges, right? Okay, so God doesn't want us to have sex whenever we feel like it. And sometimes He wants us to have sex when we don't feel like it, right? It can be an act of love towards our spouse, even if we don't feel like it. Same thing with going to the bathroom. If you have 10 kids in your family and you stop at a gas station, whether you feel like it or not, you're going to want all your kids to go to the bathroom, right? Because if you stop every time somebody wants to go to the bathroom, it'd be chaos. You'd be stopping all the time. And it's the same thing with eating. If you had 10 kids, you wouldn't let them eat whenever they're hungry. You'd say, sorry, kids, we're eating at meals. So I believe that if you have those body urges, yeah, God designed our bodies with urges. That doesn't mean you have to do whatever the urge tells you to when the urge tells you to do it, and that you can only do it when the urge tells you to do it, if that makes sense. So I know some people will disagree with me on that, and we just agree to disagree and love each other and always accept that we could be wrong on that. So that kind of ties in with the next point, which is choose only one set of primary boundaries. Okay, so this is what I see happening a lot of times. Somebody will be maybe counting calories. Okay, so calories is their boundaries, or they're going to Weight Watchers. Okay, but they also try to eat only when they're hungry, or they also try to eat 3 meals a day. Okay, if you're adding in all those different boundaries, you have so many possibilities of failure. Okay, so that means every time I eat a snack, if I only have 3 meals a day, I'm going to fail, right? Or every time I eat when I'm not hungry, I'm going to fail, right? So that's why you only want one set of primary boundaries. Okay, so if I'm eating hunger satisfaction, I'm not going to want to count calories too and feel like I have to follow my calories. Now, if you want to add in a second one just as that, okay, I'm going to try and do that, that's okay, but don't make it a set boundary because you don't want to bring so many options in to fail. And I know what some people will do with either 3 meals a day or hunger fullness. The first 2 or 3 weeks of that plan, at the end of the day, they might count up their calories and then they'll see, okay, am I eating enough calories to lose weight on either this hunger fullness or 3 meals a day. So that'd be an option too, but just make sure you only have one set of boundaries. And if you're choosing more than one set of boundaries, maybe ask why. Why are you choosing more than one set of boundaries? Okay, the next one is to let go of the idea that there's a perfect plan out there that it will help you lose weight for sure and also give you the flexibility you desire. I think one of the reasons we have a hard time making decisions is we want the best decision possible. And with weight loss, that means it's going to make us lose weight and it's going to be flexible. So we're going to be able to do all our parties and vacations and holidays within the context of our boundaries. And the thing is, you guys, weight loss boundaries, they do cramp our style. We're not always going to be able to fit all those little parties into our weight loss boundaries. But that doesn't mean we can't, enjoy the holidays. We can't go on vacation. We can't go to those things. It just means we have to alter our behavior a little bit more than what we're used to. And that's not a bad thing. Add a secondary boundary based on your failures. Okay. So let's say I'm doing hunger satisfaction. And actually, I remember my friend Heidi talking about this when she was doing hunger satisfaction. That's what she does. She's within. But I think she ruled out maybe Oreos and ice cream together. Like she said, I can't eat Oreos and ice cream at the same time because she realized every time she did that, she ate, past satisfied. She ate too much. So if you're don't go looking for secondary boundaries. Just make secondary boundaries based on your failures. Okay. So if you find that every time you eat at night, you just go crazy eating, you might want to add a secondary boundary that I'm not going to eat after dinner. But just try and base those different boundaries on, what you need to keep going, because you don't want to have too many boundaries. I was looking at those questions. You guys gave a lot of ideas for different Facebook Lives. And one of the questions was, how do I stop obsessing over, the grams and, the carbs, the calories, all that stuff. In a way, the answer to that question is just kind of what we've been talking about, is to choose something, stick with it, be okay with it, and hold both weight loss and flexible boundaries with open hands. So you're holding both food with open hands and weight loss open hands. When we feel like we have to lose weight, we're going to start obsessing about it. Or if we're an obsessive personality, we're going to start obsessing about it. So those two things will make us obsessed. Like, I'm not an obsessive personality by nature, so I've never obsessed about weight loss boundaries. But if I have obsessed sometimes about things writing it, it's because I care too much about, what people think or not being rejected. So if you're obsessing about it, chances are there's something you're caring about more than God wants you to care about it. I looked at some of the other things I said on weight loss boundaries, and I realized I never really said, okay, these are the different options for primary boundaries. Counting something, calories, points, carbs, hunger fullness, 3 meals a day, or some sort of specific plan. So when I say in all my Bible says, choose a set of boundaries. I mean, choose one of those sets of boundaries, okay? If you say something like, I'm just going to try and eat less, that's not a set of boundaries. Or I'm just going to try and be careful, not a set of boundaries. It has to be something measurable. Now, 3 meals a day, that's not all that measurable. That's why I say 3 meals a day, the first couple of weeks, you might want at the end of the day, count your calories to make sure you're not eating too much. I think that's it. I guess one other thing I'd say, one thing I've been realizing is that when I want a perfect decision, I'll probably talk about this in the Decision Facebook Live too. I have this lie in my mind that you can have it all, that there's one decision out there that's perfect, okay? And there's no decision out there that's perfect. What it is it's a bunch of 90%, okay? And we spend so much time, we get up to 90% on an option, and then we spend all this other time trying to make it to 100 when there is no 100, and when 100 won't guarantee success. So if you look at all these boundaries, you know, there's different 90s. Like with 3 meals a day, the 90 is I get to eat every meal of the day, okay? The 10 is, because it's not specific, I'm not counting calories, it might not guarantee weight loss. With hunger satisfaction, the 90s, I get to eat whenever I'm hungry. I don't ever have to like feel hungry and not be able to satisfy myself. And the 10 might be, okay, what if I'm not hungry when I'm out for lunch with my friend? so each one has a 90 and a 10. Okay, I don't see any other questions there, you guys. So I think that'll be about it. And hope you guys have a great day. And I'll talk to you next time.